This week, Israel's Prime Minister Ariel Sharon told President Bush that he would start to dismantle some illegal Jewish settlements on the West Bank as part of an agreement with the new Palestinian Prime Minister. That news has already alarmed those Jewish settlers and ultra-Zionist Israelis who believe that the Jewish state should control all of the biblical Jewish homeland. But they're not the only group that feels that way. So do, as Bob Simon reported not too long ago, fundamentalist Christian evangelicals, who make up the largest single religious grouping in the United States.
At a congregation in Colorado, it's Israel Awareness Day. But this is not a Jewish congregation, and these are not Jewish dancers. They're all Christians.
It is my belief that the Bible Belt in America is Israel's only safety belt right now.
The Reverend Jerry Falwell is one of the leaders of the Christian right. That's the bulk of evangelical Christians, and Falwell claims to speak for all of them.
There's nothing that would bring the wrath of the Christian public in this country down on this government like abandoning or opposing Israel in a critical matter.
This is his core constituency.
It is, and I don't think for a moment he's going to do that. I really believe when the chips are down, Ariel Sharon can trust George Bush to do the right thing every time.
Prime Minister Sharon can apparently trust the Christian evangelicals to do the right thing too. They treated him like a rock star when they flocked to Jerusalem to celebrate the Jewish Feast of Tabernacles.
United with God's help and your solidarity, we will win. We will win.
With the flags of 60 nations on display, there was an Olympic air about the event.
The United States of America!
Gold went to those who loved Israel the most. But what propels them? Why do they love Israel so much? Because the return of the Jews to their ancient homeland is seen by evangelicals as a precondition for the second coming of Christ. Therefore, when the Jewish state was created in 1948, they saw it as a sign. Israel's conquest of Jerusalem and the West Bank in 1967 deepened their excitement, heightened their anticipation. And today's war between Jews and Arabs was also prophesied, they say. They've seen it all before in the pages of the Bible.
The Bible does not contain the Word of God, Bob. Listen to me closely. The Bible is the Word of God.
Ed McAteer is known as the godfather of the Christian right. He's a former Colgate marketing executive from Memphis and was a founder of the Moral Majority. He wears his religion on his sleeve and his politics on his tie.
There is a battle going on in the Middle East right now.
No question about it.
Is this the beginning of the final battle?
Bob, as I used to tell my salesman, don't give me a happiness report. Tell me like it is. And so I don't push my views on people, but I'm telling you from my heart, I believe that. I believe.
The end of days is upon us.
I believe that we are seeing prophecy unfold so rapidly and dramatically and wonderfully, and without exaggerating, makes me breathless.
And he's not the only one. Countless millions of Americans are reading a series of novels called Left Behind. They're topping bestseller lists all over the country, and they're being made into movies. They chronicle apocalyptic times. The setting is the 21st century, complete with warplanes and TV correspondence.
This is Buck Williams reporting live from Israel. I am standing in the middle of an all-out attack.
But the plot is ripped from the pages of the Bible, so it all winds up here in Israel, where according to the book of Revelations, the final battle in the history of the future will be fought on this ancient battleground in northern Israel called Armageddon. It will follow 7 years of tribulation during which the earth will be shaken by such disasters that previous human history will seem like a day in the country. The blood will rise as high as a horse's bridle here at Armageddon before Christ triumphs to begin his 1,000-year rule. And the Jews? Well, 2/3 of them will have been wiped out by now, and the survivors will accept Jesus at last.
The Jews die or convert. As a Jew, I can't feel very comfortable with the affections of somebody who looks forward to that scenario.
Gershom Gorenberg knows that scenario well. He's the author of The End of Days, a book about those Christian evangelicals who choose to read the Bible literally.
They don't love the real Jewish people. They love us as characters in their story, in their play. And that's not who we are, and we never auditioned for that part. And the play is not one that ends up good for us.
It ends up with salvation for the Christians, for the people who wrote the play, but not for you.
Correct. If you listen to the drama that they're describing, essentially it's a 5-act play in which the Jews disappear in the 4th act.
But if that makes Gershom Gorenberg feel uncomfortable, these Christians maintain, it's only because he doesn't understand how deeply they love him.
The Jews need conversion. They need to know that Messiah is coming, and the Bible tells us what's going to happen.
You're going to have to take the Word of God and get to know God so that...
Kay Arthur heads an organization called Precept Ministries in Chattanooga, Tennessee.